Very good. So, as most of you are present now, please write your name in a chat box. Okay. Okay, I think most of you have done it. Just a minute. Okay, so let me start now from what we discussed yesterday. Whether my slide is visible to you all? Okay, okay, very good. So, anybody remembers which topic I discussed yesterday? Shiffer. Okay. So, the first important topic which I discussed yesterday was 3 security goals, right? Which are the 3 security goals? CIA, very good. But C means what? No. Preet, CI, anything, right? So you have to remember it, all of you, okay? C means confidentiality, I means integrity, and A means availability, okay? All right, okay. And then I explained you the mechanisms through which we can protect our information. So what is the mechanism? What is the name of the technique to protect our information? Encryption. Dhruv, very good. It is encryption. And decryption is a method to recover what we encrypted. Right? So what is cipher? When we use the term cipher, what do we mean by that? Cipher means encryption algorithm, okay, and cipher text means encrypted text. Kaushal, yes. So original message, then you have key, then you have encryption algorithm, and you apply this encryption algorithm over original text or plain text using a key that is secret key, and that is shared between sender and the receiver, and with the help of that it produces ciphertext, which is encrypted text. Okay, and that encrypted text is transmitted over a network, and at the network side, on the receiver side, it is encrypted text. So this encrypted text is supposed to be recovered into original text. So how it can be recovered in the original text? Using decryption, right? And what is the process of decryption? The decryption algorithm is ciphertext. It is the same key which is used to encrypt the message, and it produces original message or plain text, right? And we had seen yesterday one encryption algorithm, that is additive cipher. What is the other name of this algorithm? Shift cipher. Very good, Abhi. Channel, yes. Caesar cipher. Shell, very good. Preet, very good. So you all remember the other names of this additive cipher. And what is the formula for encryption using additive cipher? Do you remember the formula? P plus K mod 26. C is equal to P plus K mod 26. Right? Okay. And the reverse conversion, P is equals to C minus K mod 26. Okay. So we had seen some examples related to that. Today we will explore further into security aspects. So we had seen yesterday security goals. Today see what are the major types which can take place for why we are transmitting data from sender to the receiver. So these are the broad classes. What are the possible methods? The first type of attack is cryptanalytic attacks. So yesterday I explained you cryptanalysis over uh, this additive cipher, right? Anybody remember what is cryptanalysis? Yes. So if you know a possibility of from the cipher text you want to generate original text, you don't have key, but you can transmissible key and generate original message and try to guess. That is cryptanalysis. Okay, let us understand it in further detail. Okay, my voice is working now. Am I audible? Okay, all of you, can you hear me? Janil, can you hear me properly now? Okay, okay. Actually, currently electricity has gone, right? So some difficulty, disturbance is coming. Okay. Cryptanalytic attack. It is a combination of statistical and algebraic techniques, which is aimed at ascertaining the secret key or a cipher. Basically, the attacker doesn't know the key. So what attacker will do? Attacker will try to apply some statistical technique or some algebraic technique. For example, from the possible output, a, an attempt will be made to understand that with what could be the possible key and what could be the possible cipher through which this message is encrypted. And if the attacker is able to guess it properly, then then the attacker will be able to uh, decipher the whole original message. So that is the technique of crypt analysis. So attacker guesses the key and look for the distinguishing property. Normally what happens that whenever the encrypted text is generated, right? So you have plain text which is meaningful, which is supposed to be hidden or concealed. So what we do, we apply encryption algorithm, and what it generates is encrypted text. Encrypted text appears to be random. Encrypted text appears right. Then you the additive shifter which I explained you, that works with alphabet only, but it does not mean that any text message which includes numbers cannot be encrypted. So for that you have to find out alter mechanisms, right? So any text message, even image or multimedia data, any can be protected, encrypted. Are you getting, Channel? Yes, Channel. Can you hear me, students? I got disconnected. Can you hear me? Okay. Can we use? Okay. Now I am seeing the message of Janil Gandhi. Let just Janil. Just a minute. Can we use ASCII table as mode? See, what I explained was a specific type of Schiffer algorithm used as additive Schiffer, right? But that is not the only algorithm. There are number of different algorithms, and you can design your own encryption algorithm, right? That is also possible. And for that, you have to take care these things. That if you design your algorithm, then it is possible that your algorithm may be prone to the cryptanalytic attack, right? So you yourself do cryptanalytic attack and test the whether there is any flow into that or not, right, Janil? That is the meaning. Have you understood? Okay, okay. All of you are able to see my slides? Okay, okay, fine. So, sorry for that disconnection. The network got disconnected. See, now I will discuss you next type of attack, that is non-cryptanalytic attack. So the cryptanalytic attack is using mathematical properties, right? So it is applying statistical techniques and algebraic techniques to find out distinguishing property. Just a minute. Okay, now the slide is visible again. Slide not visible. Uh, okay, I am getting mixed responses. Some, okay, Kaushal is saying now visible. Okay, Dhruval, okay, now most of the students are saying it is visible. Okay, who said no? Chenil Patel, type whether you are able to see it. Yes, Chenil Patel. Okay, fine. Okay. So, they not exploit the mathematical weakness of the cryptographic algorithm. So, the three goals of the security, they are threatened by this class of algorithms. So, uh, this class of attacks. Right, so attacks, first we consider attack threatening the confidentiality. how the confidentiality is threatened by non-cryptanalytic attack. Non-cryptanalytic attack is not considering the mathematicness. It is trying to apply other techniques. So which are those other techniques? So the first technique is spoofing. Snooping. Snooping means what? Like when you have snooping means in a general sense, there is a sender and a receiver. Now, sender is transmitting data to the receiver. So, sender is actually transmitting data packets over a network. Now, what happens in snooping is that somebody else who pretend to be the receiver or in between intercept the message and accesses the packets, data packets. So that third person is not authorized, right? And he is trying to read the messages which are sent by sender to the receiver. So snooping is an activity is which is called as unauthorized access to or interception of data, right? So you send a message to your friend and with by the NC firm.
You write this class, if you are creating public class, within one Java file, I told you only one public. You can have multiple files, but only one class can be public. Currently, you are not to create multiple classes. You are supposed to create only one class. Make it public and make sure that the file that is being is same classes.
Now, are you able to hear me? Okay, 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 okay. So snooping is discussed. Now, next type of attack which threatens the confidentiality is traffic analysis. It is like that the data is transmitted over a network in the form of data packet. Somebody captures, intercepts that data and try to do analysis, right? So encrypted, although you may apply encryption for sending the data packet, however, there may be a attacker who will capture those encrypted data packet and he will try to decipher it by applying some technique, right? This non-intelligible data is analyzed, right? And then the uh, pattern may be found, and then with the help of this traffic analysis, some important information can be guessed. For example, the email address of the sender, which is encrypted in the data packet. But if the sender and receiver's email address is guessed, so you may not get exact message, but you will at least guess the correct information about who is the sender and who is the receiver. Then also the information can be guessed, right? So this is the important part of the different two different types of attack: snooping and traffic analysis, which threatens the confidentiality. Second is the attacks which threaten the integrity. There are different types of attack which threatens the integrity. So what is the integrity security goal? Integrity security goal means that only the authorized person should be able to modify the data, right? So the modification is the attack where the after intercepting the information, the attacker modifies the information to make it beneficial to herself. So the person who is modifying the data, that is not an authorized person, right? And he is modifying the data in such a way which benefits to the attacker. That is the called as modification attack. This happens in contracts when the bidding takes place for government contracts or some company's contract. Then the modification of the prices, that is done by unauthorized person, right? Or approval of the name person, the selected names person, that is modified without authorization, and that is called as modification. Masquerading, that is spoofing, right? So the attacker impersonates somebody else. In the spoofing category, you have your ATM card, somebody else takes your ATM card and knows the pin of your card, then somebody can take money from your account, so it is actually harming you, right? This is called as spoofing attack. Okay, so that is called as the attacker impersonates somebody else. You are not authorized, somebody else comes and says that I am the authorized person, and let me access my system, and that way some unauthorized person accesses the system. Third is replaying. The attacker obtains, in this what happens, the attacker obtains the copy of a message sent by a user and later tries to replay it. So what happens in this particular category, sender sends the data packet to the receiver, the attacker will intercept that message, the message will not reach to the attacker, message will not reach to receiver. After some time, attacker will send the message and tries to so it is called as it tries to replay it. It will also happen that sender's message is intercepted by the attacker, sender's message is reached to the receiver, and so for example, original account holder goes to the bank, withdraws the money from his account. After 1 hour, somebody else will come and says that this is the amount which is supposed to be withdrawn for that customer, and that customer so account is deducted for it. So it is called as replaying. The same message is replayed. So that is called as replaying. Fourth is repudiation. Repudiation is the what happens in this, the sender of the message might later deny that she has sent the message. It is like you somebody does the crime and says that I have not done that crime. It is like that. So sender will try to sender will send the message, but later it sender will say that I have not done this, right? The same thing will happen, that receiver of the message might later deny that he has received the message. Okay, so these are the four different types of attacks which are threatening the integrity. Next is attacks which threatens the availability. So one is denial of service sector. Availability means that the services of or the data information should be available to the authorized person as and when it is required, right? With authorized mechanisms. That is availability. So denial of service is the attack through which this availability is threatened. What is denial of service? So, in denial of service, it may slow down or totally interrupt the service of a system. Many times, you may have come across this situation in past that Gmail services are down. Okay, it rarely happened, but sometimes it happened. Gmail services are down, or Facebook is down, right? Or Twitter is down, right? So that is interrupted. The services are interrupted, and that is called as denial of service. Sometimes it happens that when you try to log in to your bank account, the server is too slow, so you are not able to do login, right? So that is called as denial of service. Now it may not have happened because the system is not good. It may have happened because some attacker might have attacked the server of that bank. That is called as denial of service. Okay. So the attacker might send so many bogus requests to a server that the server crashes because of the heavy load. As you know, that our computer CPU has limited capacity and limited memory, right? If the number of instruction, Harsh Patel, yes, it is because of the network traffic increase, but not the random traffic. The attacker tries to intentionally increases the network traffic for the server, and that server, particularly server, receives that those many bogus requests, so that the server's CPU and memory gets full, right? So it will not be able to perform as expected, like multiply network traffic through one device. You don't multiply the network traffic, you actually generate, the attacker generates the network traffic. Okay, too many requests are generated for the server, right? So for example, server is able to provide services to 10 customers simultaneously. If 100 customers arrives, then customer will not be able to get service. Attacker would do anything for his profit. What would he get by making server slow? By making so many requests. The making of so many requests impacts the server's performance, and that's why it goes down. So server is not the attacker's goal may not be slow down of the server. It may be of crashing of the server, but server is has certain performance requirements. So server might be able to perform certain number of requests. So after that, it will not be able to perform with those performance characteristics. So we call it as a slowed down. Is that okay? Yes, Ansh? Okay, right. The attacker might intercept and delete the server's responses to a client. It can also happen, might allow competitors with soft advantage. Yes, it is. It happens in the practice also, right? In life also, it is like that only. So these things are not new. In life, we all have seen this kind of things. But while ethically we should not do all these things, but we should be aware about all these things, right? The attacker might intercept and delete a server's responses to a client, and making the client to believe that the server is not responding, or attacker may intercept the request of a client. See, what happens is there are two sides. One is the attacker will intercept server's responses, or attacker may intercept client's responses. So on both side, attacker can create an impact. So client will believe that server is not responding, but actually what has happened, server has resent a reply, but the attacker is not allowing that reply to reach to the client. Okay. Similarly, when the client is sending a request, the request is actually not reaching to the server, right? So client will think that my request is not reaching to the server. So client will try to do retry, or ultimately it will disconnect. On the other side, server is, even if server is sending the reply, it is not reaching to the client. So client might believe that server is not responding, right? So this is called as denial of service. Now there are other two types of attack. One is called as passive attack, and second is active attack. So passive attacks are the attacks, they the attack does not modify the data or harm the system, right? Passive means active, and passive means the means somebody who, passive person means somebody who is not energetic, right? So and just observing, right? It is like that. So passive attack is also like that. The attacker is able to get the data, but attacker is not actually modifying the data or harm the system. The effect, the attacker may harm the sender or the receiver of the message. right? So even if the system is not uh, damaged, uh, the person, the sender or the receiver may have some harm, because the passive attack, like it is like some secret communication is going on, the information exchange between the uh, deal, right? So between the buyer and seller. Okay, so if the interceptor attacker tries to get that information, and he will be able to know it, he may try to cancel the deal, right? So it is called as passive attack. Right, snooping and traffic analysis are the examples of passive attack, or these are the types of passive attacks. And it is very difficult to detect this type of attack, because when somebody is doing snooping or traffic analysis, it is very difficult to know that somebody is doing snooping or somebody is doing traffic analysis, right? So uh, if somebody is doing snooping and harming you, when you will come to know about it, that I am harmed, and there could be the reason that somebody else is trying to do this activity, and it is not natural harm, right? So then the guess might lead you to know that okay, somebody is creating trouble to you, right? So it is very difficult to detect this type of attack, and it can be prevented by encipherment of the data, that is with the encryption technique. So if your encryption algorithm is very strong, then nobody will be able to understand the encrypted text, right? So it is very important that you use good encryption technique. Active attack may change the data or harm the system, right? So these other type of attacks that impacts the integrity, they are active attacks. So modification, masquerading, replaying, repudiation, these are the active attacks, and they are easier to detect, but they are difficult to be prevented. And you cannot prevent them, but they can be detected easily, that somebody has modified your data, right? So you may have put some x value in your bidding for a contract, but somebody might have attacker might have changed it and made the value y, and because of that you lose. So you will come to know that your value is modified by somebody else, attacker, right? So it is easy to detect, right? But it cannot be always prevented. Now let us do this exercise, this example. uh, but sir, if we use decryption in website, then it has JavaScript code where the attacker can get the decryption algorithm. So JavaScript code is at application level. Okay, JavaScript code is at application level. So what happens with that JavaScript code? What do you do, Janil? No, execute is fine, but what is the effect of that JavaScript code? If we use the decryption in website, then it has JavaScript code where the attacker can get the decryption algorithm. I'm not getting your question. Are you saying that by looking at the JavaScript code, the attacker will come to know about the decryption algorithm? Are you saying that? Okay, okay, right. Yes, so there are many techniques. This is called a security flaw. So you should not put certain security mechanisms at a place which are publicly visible, right? So there are, even this is true with respect to key, right? So there are two types of cryptography algorithm. One is public key cryptography and second is private key cryptography. So public key cryptography, the key is public, but still the message can be encrypted. And private key is that it should be shared only within the two parties, with not the third one, right? JS code should not be known to the user. Harsh, that is fine, but certain at some time, some part of the code is visible in the browser that you have seen, right? So Janil is asking that uh, because this type of codes are available when you open the browser, it is very easy to decrypt it. And yes, that is the true, and that is why security is very important to be included into the website. So where you will place security, that is more important, right? So this, it should not happen, it should not happen actually. Okay, Janil, is that clear? Okay, okay, fine, but good question. Okay, now let all of you in your book solve this example. Use the additive cipher with key equal to 15 to encrypt the message hello. All of you do this practice of this example. Solve it and post your answer. I am giving you 2 minutes. First, you convert this hello into WTAD. Okay. Okay. So let's see. You have written directly answer, but I want you to find out it by method. So you write down the steps, right? So first step I am showing you in this slide, that first you have to do mapping. So H is 7, right? E is 4, L is 11, L is 11, and O is 14. Now what is the next step? Write down the next step. Write down the next step. On's answer is correct, but you write down the step. P plus K. Okay. P plus K. Okay. Perform the next step for each of these. Okay. Perform the next step and write down the answer. 22, 19, Shruti Makwana. 22, 19, 26, 26, 29. Right. So you have to add 15. 7 plus 15. So 22. Okay. So perform this operation pi plus k mod 26 and fill this table. Okay, this is hidden. I will open this once you finish all the steps. 1, 2, 3. So up to this you have finished. First three steps you have finished. Now complete fourth and fifth step. All of you who do in your book, you please answer, write down the answer in the chat box, so that gives us feeling that you are understanding, right? There are some students who are regularly replying, but those some students who might be doing it but they are not replying. So you may try it. Okay. 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 So this is the answer. Okay. So you can see that 7 plus 15 is 22. 4 plus 15 is 19. 11 plus 15 is 26. 11 plus 15 is 26. 14 plus 15 is 29. And what we do now is take mode 26. So it is 22, 19. The mode of 26, 26 is 0, and for 29 it is 3. And when we do mapping, the mapping is WTAAD. Okay, you all promptly answered this. It means that you are familiar with, but good that you have shown the steps. Now that is what is expected. Okay, now do this second example. Use the additive cipher key 15 to decrypt this message. Okay, now you have to do the reverse thing, right? So again, follow these steps. pi equal to ci minus k mod 26, and then apply all these steps. So write down step number 3, 4 and 5. Step 3, 4, 5. C minus k. So 7, 4 minus 15 minus 15, 12.
So this is not algorithm. This is a very important. So you can now get the classified in your program as algorithm. Now you know. Think how we get some of this. What is the time? Very fast.
So I'm getting different answers.
What do you want? In detail. So there are two different ways.
At last 14.
Just think, how do you do it? Design. This is our design. How do you do it? Last thing. Are you listening to this or not? What are you listening? What are you listening?
Shall, okay. Okay, so intermediate steps, mode 26 values. 4 or 5 students have done it. Other students, some other may try. Good, chance, very good.
You want to interact among yourself. Why you come here?
Okay, 5, 6 students have responded.
Yesterday I told you in the class, whenever I get into the class on lab, you can't see. I don't want to repeat that. And we are not only for class, we also for lab. If you have questions,
Okay.
you can discuss. But when I'm discussing, don't discuss.
So convert this text.
Okay.
5 or 6 students have responded, but I hope that all of you have got the answer, right? Okay, so you can see in this slide 15, 22 is the cipher text value and 15 is the key. So subtraction is 7. Similarly here 19 minus 15, 4, but here 0. So 0 minus 15 is minus 15. So how this minus 15, what is the way we have to perform this minus 15 mod 26? How it can be 11? So what you have to do is minus 15 plus 26. So when you do minus 15 plus 26, what you get is 11. Is that clear, all of you? Those who have not responded, those who have done correctly, that is fine. But those who have not responded, you should be able to understand it, that it is minus 15 plus 26, right? Similarly, minus 12 plus 26, which results into 14, right? So there is, and then we do the reverse mapping. So 7 is H, 4 is E, 11 is L, 11 is L, and 14 is O, right? So this results into hello. Now, suppose Eve has intercepted the cipher text. This show how she can use a brute force attack to break the cipher. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to take k equal to 1 and try to decipher it. Then k equal to 2, k equal to 3, like that. Okay. So what I suggest you is, first of all, have you understand the question? Right? So now, what I suggest you is that because you have to do it manually, k equal to 1, k equal to 2, k equal to 3, k equal to 4, k equal to 5, k equal to 6, and then k equal to 7. So what I suggest you is that for k equal to 7, you should try to find out this. This is the text, and you have to find its ciphertext mapping. Use key equal to 7. Okay, key equal to 7, and then find the plain text, apply it. And after the lecture, at when you have time, try to see the message with different other keys, k equal to 1, k equal to 2. But here I am telling you that you will be able to find out the correct answer with key equal to 7. So try and write down the steps. Yes, are you doing? Write down the first step, mapping values, if you have already done. Okay, 20, 21, 0, 2, 11, 24, 5, 25, 11, 9, 1, 24, 11. Okay, good. Yes, Shail Shah has done 13, 14 minus 5. Okay, Shah Ans and Harsh Tumar, Shail Shah, Harsh Patel, Janil Patel, Okay. Love Patel, Janil Gandhi, Mir Modi. Okay, many of you are able to answer properly, right? So let us see the answer for that. Okay, so you can see that this is the mapping of these characters. Okay, so if this type of text is given to you, it is very difficult to guess it, right? So what we have to do is you have to do mapping of these numbers, characters into numbers, minus 7. 7 is the key. It is known to you because I told you, but otherwise in cryptanalysis attack, what you have to do, you have to apply different keys and then you have to find out this cipher key minus key. Then you have to take mode. So you can see that 13 mode 26, 13 minus 7 mode 26, 19, right? Minus 5 mode 26, 21, right? Like that. And up to this L. Okay. And the reverse conversion results into this. Is that okay to all of you? Any questions, any doubt? Any question, any doubt? Okay. So I stop here for today. If you have any question, you can ask me or maybe in next class. Okay. All right. So I stop here for today's class.